Hey guys, I'm Ivory and welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a first impressions as well as a wear test on the Clinique Stay Matte Oil-Free Foundation. I did pick up samples at my local Macy's a while back actually, and I'm just getting around to it. I know I'm very on top of things. But I'm going to be showing you how the foundation looks initially, as well as checking in throughout today to show you how it holds up. For anyone that is new here, I have both acne prone and oily skin, so my wear tests are definitely catered towards people with very similar skin types. Before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every single week, and be sure to also be following me on my social media. Everything is _ivorycherry. Let's begin. So before we even begin, I wanted to throw up a picture of the packaging of the foundation. It is a squeezy tube, which I'm not a huge fan of. I definitely prefer something with a pump, but what I do like about the packaging is it is clear, so you can see the foundation through and match it to your neck or your face or however you like to match your foundation. It is 1 fluid ounce, which is really standard for most of the foundations that I purchase, and retails for $27, which is steep. But Clinique is a high-end brand, so I'm not super surprised about the price. I mean, it's not like Maybelline is charging $27 for a foundation. That would be outrageous. The foundation is supposed to have a matte and natural finish, and the coverage claims to be sheer to moderate. So it's buildable, but not super buildable. So the 2 shades that I got are 08, which is golden neutral, and 09, which is neutral. Let's first color match me to see what's my shade. And then this is 09, neutral. I feel like this undertone is better than this one, but this one is a little maybe too dark. I don't know. Let's try mixing them together. That's not actually that bad. I'm gonna mix the 2 together and see what happens, but obviously a lot of people don't wanna buy 2 foundations, so I would go with 09 if you are close to my shade. For reference, my shade in the Estee Lauder Double Wear is in between tawny and cashew, and for the Maybelline Superstay, I am in between natural beige and sun beige. Okay, so before I even begin, I'm actually gonna go in with the Dr. Jart Tiger Grass Camo Drops, just because I do have redness here and I want to cancel them out. I tried this a while back and I wasn't sure if it actually really did anything, but then I tried it again and I was like, actually there is a difference. So we're gonna cancel out some of the redness, and that's really because I read that the foundation is gonna be sheer to medium coverage, and I definitely prefer a full coverage. So I want to try and cancel out as much as I can so that I don't need as much foundation. To see what applicator works better with this foundation, on one side I am using the Beauty Blender. That's right, I finally got an actual beauty blender, not a Real Technique sponge, not a Morphe sponge, an actual beauty blender courtesy of Magdalene. So now I feel like an official beauty guru because I actually have a beauty blender instead of just some knockoff that I've always been using for the past year or so. And then on the other side, I will be using a round kabuki brush. This one is by Beztaupe. This is a really great foundation brush. It does come in a kit off of Amazon and they are super inexpensive. I'll link them in the description box below. It does come with both face brushes and eye brushes if you want a kit versus having to buy brushes individually. Okay, so this is 1 layer of the foundation. I don't think mixing it was a great idea because it's too light for my neck. I'm gonna go in with the 2nd layer, but I'm gonna use the darker shade, the 09. But before I add another layer, I wanted to see what I'm working with. It is a pretty sheer foundation. You can still see my acne marks. Both sides look pretty much the same. I will say that the brush handled my acne here a lot different because in these areas the foundation went over my dry patches and it looks cakey and bunchy, and the acne on this side doesn't look like that. So I think in this case, I do prefer the Beauty Blender over my round kabuki brush. I'm gonna go ahead and add a 2nd layer using just the Beauty Blender just to see how much I can build it up. Okay, I thought the golden neutral foundation was what was making me look really white, but apparently it's the neutral one. I'm gonna add some golden neutral on top of it, a very sheer amount, just because my face, it looks like a cadaver right now. Okay, so this is a second layer using a beauty blender. Honestly, the coverage is actually pretty good. I am pleasantly surprised. I thought it would be way more sheer than this, and the second layer really did the job. I'm gonna do the rest of my face, but I want the focus of this video to be just the foundation, so I'm gonna speed up the rest of the process because I asked you guys if you prefer me do this off camera or if you want to see the whole thing, and the decision was heavily weighted on showing the entire face. So I'm gonna do that for this video, but I'm not gonna talk. But as always, all of the products that I use are in my description box below if you are interested. Okay, so the rest of my face is on. I had no problems with my products blending with it. I spent quite a bit of time trying to add color back into my face with bronzer because there was a big difference, and I think I saved it quite a bit. There may still be a little bit of a difference in the face to the neck. We're gonna ignore it, okay? I don't wanna see no comments about it because I'm aware of it. I've had this foundation on for a little over an hour now. Yes, that's how long it takes me to do my makeup. I really like the finish of it. It is like a natural matte type of finish. Coverage is actually really good. I was expecting like a lot of my redness to peek through, but that second layer, it made such a big difference. Up close you can see the coverage and there's no cakiness. There's a little bit of buildup in my smile line. This always happens even with my favorite foundations. It always cracks a little bit here, but it's not anything more than what I'm used to. On a first impressions alone, I think everything looks pretty good. I want to wear this for at least 10 hours, so I'm gonna go on about my day and I will check in around the halfway point and give you an update as to how it is looking. Okay, so as of this moment, it is now the 7-hour mark. I have not touched up and I have not blotted as well, so this is what it looks like at the moment. Honestly, it looks pretty much the same except for a little bit of oil right at the tops of my cheekbones. After my first impressions, I said that there was a crack right here on my smile line. It has not continued to crack. It stayed exactly the same, which is great. Up close you can see that there is no bunching and everything looks really great. What I always have to look for is splotchiness on my nose and my chin area and my T-zone. I'm starting to see just a smidge, like I'm really being nitpicky about this. I'm seeing just a little bit of separation on the nose, but it's really faint. Everything else for the most part looks really good. I mean, I'm not as matte as before, but I think I have like a nice healthy glow at this point. Where all of my acne is, it's still very well covered. It's not like weird in the nose cracks, which can happen very often. So that is it for this check-in. I will come back again at the end of the day to give my final thoughts and give a final check-in. I want to keep this short because honestly, there's not a lot to say. So I'm just gonna keep it really simple. So far, everything is positive. I will see you in a couple more hours. Well, I'm gonna be gone for a couple hours, but you're gonna see me again in like a couple seconds because of, you know, the magic of editing. Cue to the end of the day. Okay, so it is a little over the 10-hour mark now. Once again, I have not touched up. I have not blotted. Before we even zoom in, just by looking at it in person, I'm very impressed. In all, I would say it held up really nicely. The coverage is still there where I really wanted extra coverage because I always put more foundation over my acne spots, and it's still there and it hasn't gotten like weird or scrunchy. There's no weird pools of foundation on the sides of my nose. My nose is starting to break up. At 10 hours, I'm fine with it. It's not super noticeable. It's very easy to touch up. The crack on my smile line, it hasn't changed since when I first put on the foundation. Like, it has stayed exactly the same. I'm gonna get you guys a little bit closer so you could see what I'm working with. As you can see, there's no like weird foundation cake up in the crevices of my nose. Everything still is intact. There's no real separation on my chin. And as you can see on my nose area, it's a little bit splotchy, like I can see my skin peeking through, but I don't think that's that bad. I'm gonna go ahead and take a blotting sheet, get off the residue, and the reason why I do this is because with oily skin like to blot throughout the day to keep their oils at bay, and sometimes the blotting will make the foundation look a little weird, a little funky. So I like to see what it looks like both before and after the blotting. All right, so I have blotted, lots of oil came through. I would say that it's starting to break down around my chin area just slightly. I can just see it from this zit right here that some of the foundation has rubbed off, and a little more of the foundation has rubbed off on my nose because I can see like this little splotchy area. Everywhere else though looks pretty good. It doesn't look very different from when I first applied it, and for 10 hours I'm impressed. So final thoughts, would I recommend this? Absolutely. That is to say that if it's in your price range and you were looking to try it, go ahead and purchase it. If you have oily skin, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. And also, so I'm hit with like a double whammy because I have both oily skin and acne prone skin. So I have a lot of texture and discoloration going on. What's nice is for people that have oily skin but want light coverage, this is still great because as you saw from the first impressions, one layer was quite sheer. So if you want something super light, this is it. And then if you want more coverage, the second layer made a huge difference in terms of it keeping me matte. I mean, yes, you saw oils come through after 10 hours and no touch-ups. That is bound to happen. But what I appreciated is that even after the oils came through, the foundation itself wasn't breaking up. It was staying put, and all I had to do was blot, and for the most part, I look fresh again. So that is it for this wear test. I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like this video and feel free to comment down below what other types of foundations you'd like me to try out and test for you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.